Welcome back to Joyfully Homeschooling, boys. My name is Frances, and I am a stay-at-home, hard-working mama who focuses homeschool, heart, and home on this channel. I love to talk about curriculum, and starting in 2026, doing some home videos and also some videos to keep us connected to our source while we are homeschooling, because that is where we draw our strength. So welcome back, guys. We in our home are in the middle of a construction, and homeschooling can definitely be humbling, but homeschooling while renovating is something different, okay? And so during this transition where we're trying to fix up and sell our home, it's a lot because it's taking up our entire living room, dining room, kitchen area. And all of that, it has helped me to reflect on some of the things that we do and some of the things that we're doing, and realizing what's important, the things we should hold on to, and some of the things that we should throw in the garbage. And so hence today's topic in this video is 15 things that I would do different if I started homeschooling all over again. We've been trying to work through all the chaos of trying to do work in our rooms and getting to the library, because honestly, we can't really do work here, and with all the noise and everything. So number one, starting from the beginning. If I would have known about homeschooling before the fact, I would have possibly been one of those moms that did kindergarten through 8th grade, and I would have just sent my kids to high school. But all I can say is, in this day and age, would I probably still have done high school? I probably would have, unless it was one of those things where I really found a great place for my kids to go that I, felt comfortable and secure with. Number two, exploring nature more. I feel like when COVID happened, we were just like, oh, you got to stay in the house, you got to stay in the house, you got to stay in the house. And we couldn't do anything. And it really put a dimper in the beginning of our homeschool experience, because we weren't getting outside and we weren't doing that. So when we finally could go outside, it wasn't a thought to like, oh, let's go out in the forest and chill and nature study and do all those things. And I feel like I also was motivated to do the nature studying because of all the things that you see on Instagram. So it was one of those things. Now, as I get older and I am respecting and loving the beauty of the world, it's something that I wish that I was like, yeah, I wish we would have did that. And it's something that I had to let go, like, well, we didn't do it, so it doesn't make us any more, less, or, whatever. So 1 second. Number three, creating the habit of reading and keeping it. And this is a big one, because we started out so great with the reading and all of that. And as screens came into it, and I will never sit here and lie on my channel, screens, even my one that is like smart and he can do all the things, and and he could be challenged and he's ready for the work, screens has really interrupted our lives. And so for me, I am so looking forward to moving to a new home, a new environment where honestly, I want to set the rules from the get-go. So reading more. And now the reading is getting even less and less and less, to where you will see over the, when we start doing curriculum picks, how I decided to go back and change and go back to something that I was using, because I should have just kept it. But if I could read more, yes. Reading together has died in my household. We don't read together. Honestly, it's a little hard to read with everyone. I possibly could read with one. And so in my brain, I'm trying to figure out what that looks like with who and how I could do that going forward next year. Yeah. Number four, reading, because I was just talking about reading, reading all of the homeschool philosophies. I would have, honestly, that summer before we started homeschooling, or even that whole like home on the screen type schooling that they were doing when we first came out in March, before COVID. I wish that I had it in my mind to do it, and I really sat down and read all the philosophies. Not saying that I would have like done a one for the, whole thing of our homeschooling, because I like having variety. But who knows? I wish I really knew more, or about each one really in depth. Not necessarily just like, oh, I read this article about it and this is what it's about. I really wish I would have took the time to really dig deep into the educational philosophies. I did read Dumbing Us Down. I did read some of Charlotte Mason. I still have, there it is right there. I still have The Well-Trained Mind, the big book that to read. I have read, how do I say this? I have read the back of the book, because the back of the book is more so about academics. I haven't really read the chunk in the beginning, so it's like I jump around. Even Waldorf book, I read half of the book. And so at times I'm just overwhelmed, but I wish I would have been able to really read about the philosophies, like all of them. I probably still will, but for me at this point it's no rush, because in high school we have taken on more traditional, and that's what's working for me, in online type homeschooling. So there you have it. Number 5 is to form better habits. Had I known that, or paid attention to, that my boys had bad habits, but I feel like habits are created over time. So not necessarily when we started homeschooling that we had the bad habits, but that they just develop over time. I do blame COVID a little bit for that, because we just, it is what it is, right? Number 6, focusing on character studies. This is something I don't know. This might trump. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the video. But this might be at the top. So learning character traits and really like how to carry yourself and all the things. Like, my kids say stuff and I'm like, you can't be saying that in public, right? And so I love the confidence that my kids have. And I love trying them out in new environments, because I like to see whether they feel like they're ready. Like, my 2 just joined basketball, like a basketball camp. And so it was interesting to see how they my older one, he actually knew some of the high schoolers, because some of them go to his VOTEC that he takes. So my younger one was kind of like a deer in the headlights. Like, I don't know these kids and I don't want to play basketball with them. It was nice though, because he eventually warmed up, which it's a good thing, because you got to know how to walk into the room and just be like, hey y'all, how you doing? I'm here. And I might not know you, but hey, that's it. But character, in a sense of self-control, all of those things, every character, all of it. And so that is something that I wish I would have focused on. I'm not even thinking about when I first started homeschooling. Like, when you first start homeschooling, you're just like, what do I need to find that could help me do this? Number 7 says co-ops after school learning. One thing I can say that has taken a drastic change in our household is how much time we can put in towards academics. Being out of the house on a Monday and really being out of the house all day Tuesday, which from a mama and what a mama has to do in the house, first and foremost, on a Monday and Tuesday, honestly, me having my days on Monday home helped me really to prepare for the week, whether it was like breakfast or just lunch, or just being able to think about dinners. And I know sometimes people do this on the weekend, but sometimes my weekends are so packed that I don't get to think about it, or I'm working my 8-hour shift on Sunday, my long, and I come home and I'm like, I don't want to think about anything. So I started to like the fact that Mondays we're home, I get to do stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is hitting different. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I have personally made the decision, and I told my kids, and we're still talking through it, like we're going down to one co-op next year. And yeah, we're going to find more things to do after school hours versus digging into our actual time together as a family to do academics, whether online or in a book or reading, or however the learning looks, even if they're doing it all independently. Still, being home and just learning, and not necessarily me wanting to, I was going to say that, but now I'm not going to say that. I was going to say not wanting to control everything, but I feel like the biggest thing that being a part of co-op has done is taking away the teaching the same thing at the same time. I feel like that has really affected me mentally a lot because I have 3 kids. And yeah, I have 3 kids, and I don't want 3 kids taking 3 different histories and 3 different sciences. Or if we were reading the same book together, like I don't, it takes a lot more energy when you have all these separate subjects. Yeah, will there be separates because nobody takes the same like electives or things that they're interested in. But when it comes to the main ones, you kind of, want to be all on the same page. So whatever resources you have, it fits for everybody. And so, yeah, that has really taken a toll on me over the last couple of years. Number 8, which I already said, and I explained in number 7, but teaching all the same subjects for all your students, all your kids. This is a high one for me too, honestly, if I had to put it on the list. Just the fact that you're all at the table or, all using the same book, all can sit down and read over the materials and go over the work, and then they can independently do their work that they need to do. It saves so much drama in your life. And if you are a new homeschool mama, I definitely would choose to go this route. Definitely. Definitely. Number 9, letting them pick their classes. Electives, yes, of course, you have to do a science and a history and all that. When they get into high school, I feel like even if it is science and they need to take bio, it's like you can take the biology of, what am I trying to say? It doesn't have to be generic. That's what I'm trying to say. And so even though it's biology, you can find a course that still covers all the things you need to know in biology. That's not just straight biology. Sometimes you just got to explore and get on the internet and Google and keep Googling until your child finds something that they really like. Number 10, stopping and mastering things that are not 100%. I feel like for me, I didn't really know that my oldest was struggling in reading. Not in reading itself, but in the category of reading, not grammar. He was struggling in spelling until I really focused on that and said, okay, we're going to nip the spelling in the butt. I feel like these are things that you really should stop and see in middle school. But hey, I started homeschooling them from middle school, so I wasn't thinking about those things then. So unfortunately now in high school, we're still nipping these in the butt, but these are things that can get done. So when it comes to the literature and comprehension, we're really focusing on that now with my oldest. And then for my 10th grader, it's more so math, and we're just catching up in math, and he's doing awesome in that. We are using Denison, and he is, I believe, on chapter 10. There's only 14 out of the geometry, so he will be starting algebra 2 as soon as he is done with that. So yeah, I'm trying to like pace him and catch him up, and not only do that, but also like the SAT math stuff that we're doing as well. And I feel like this one is high up on the list too. Like really taking the time, because especially in math, because math is attached. Now I know from having my own terrible experience with math. And so it's very important to really know what you're doing on one side, and not necessarily letting scores and grades and tests always dictate that either, because I've had some times where my son was like not scoring well, and he's like, it's not my fault, the computer wanted me to put it in like this and I didn't put it in the right way, and this and that and this and other. And then when he takes the test, he gets 100, and I'm like, I'm confused. And so sometimes you can't always look at that. The best way that I am learning, where you can know whether your child knows something 100%, is for them to teach it back to you. Okay, show me how to do that. How do you do that? Like, yeah. And even some things in math, honestly, it's about learning the rules, negatives and positives, and how do you line up the decimals and doing decimal work. Like, yeah, like the steps, you got to know. And honestly, when you know the steps, there's nothing but success. You can't, you're good to go. Number 11, which it's so funny. This is a funny one to me because my oldest, which is 25, if you don't know, my oldest is 25, and he had such sloppy handwriting. Sorry. He had such sloppy handwriting, and honestly, when he was in school, he used to hand me his spelling list, and I used to ball up the paper and put it in the trash. I used to make him write his list over and over, and until he just realized, like, I need to make effort to write neat. And so number 11 is definitely not paying attention to the handwriting, because now with my 7th grader, he has a handwriting book, and it literally drives me nuts. I'm like, I'm going to erase it. I've already done one day where I erased this stuff 5 times because I was like, and I didn't erase the whole page. It was a sentence, and I was like, you can do it better than that. You can do it better. Sometimes they just need a little push. And so we're working on that handwriting. Hence, he loves to type, which he got to type a lot because he's a very great typer. But then his handwriting suffered. So yeah, wasn't a great idea at an early age. Number 12 is scheduling more breaks. With me and raising boys and all of those things, breaks for them means 5 to 10 minutes. It does not mean, oh my Lord. And it means timers as well. Because when you say break, they'll be like, oh, that means I can go get on my laptop. No, it don't. No. A break means you can go get a snack. You can breathe for a second. You can open up a book. You can go lay in the bed and stare at the wall. It doesn't matter what you do. Build a Lego set. It doesn't matter what you do. But it's not screens. And so it's very hard for them to realize how fast 5 and 10 minutes go. They're like, time's up already? Yeah, it's up. So timers have helped with my breaks. But even still, if it was easy to incorporate the breaks without them trying to draw them out longer than they are, I would say definitely more breaks, because sometimes I look forward to the breaks, okay? Not gonna be funny. And so number 13, oh my gosh, trying to finish it all. How many of y'all, I just want y'all, if you got this far in the video, because I'm looking at the time and I'm like, this is not good. Oh my goodness. I thought I saw something in my tea. If you've gotten this far in the video and you are a mama who has tried to finish everything and all things, no matter what the book is, I'm going to need you to drop me an emoji in the comments and say guilty, okay? Let me know. Because when we first started homeschooling, I was like, oh my gosh, well, we have to finish the whole book. Like, you didn't finish the whole year if we didn't finish the book. So why are you, like, yeah, we got to finish this. And so, yeah, I was driving myself nuts trying to do that. Now in high school, I have different views about that. If they're doing an online program, yes, we're going to finish this online program. Especially when it's like, oh, they give you a certificate and all that stuff. Like Journey Homeschool Academy populates a beautiful certificate for you to print out and keep. And so, yes, we gonna work to get that piece of paper, because honestly, to back it up, that's proof that you did the work. And yeah, especially in these homeschool streets and in life, you never know what happens. Like every year, I email my husband their report card, what's on their transcript already, because you never know. You never know. And so I don't want to walk the roads as if, oh yeah, I just absolutely know I'm just going to be here for, we don't know, no day is promised. So I thank God that he gives me breath in life every day and that he gives me the opportunity to homeschool my kids. But yeah, for me, I try to keep track of it all. So yeah, not trying to finish things all except for those things that I feel like are necessary to finish, especially when it comes to high school credit. Number 14, and this one would go to the top of the list, just because of what it is. And so, number 14, and not believing that I was doing enough. There are some things I feel like that we have been good at doing, and there are some things that I feel like that we haven't been great at doing. And I'm learning that whatever we were doing is enough, because that's what it is. And I just want to say, mamas, if you think like me, and I'm going to lay out what you think, me, and saying that not feeling like I'm not doing enough. So for English, you're doing reading comprehension and all the reading things. You're doing grammar, you're doing writing, you're doing spelling, you're doing vocabulary. That's just ELA. And then you're doing math, and then you're working on memorizing math facts on top of the curriculum. You're supplementing that. And then for science, you're doing science with projects. History, you want to read all the books. And then geography, you want to look at the world. You want to do this big old thing. Mind you, I bought guest house. What is the name of this place? Guest Hollow. Geography. And we haven't done it. Getting together as a family failed this year. Could it work next year? We'll see. Number 15, and you guys will hear about this during the summer and when I'm buying curriculum. Changing something that was working. Changing something that was working. Why did I do that? I don't know. You will find out what that was like in the summertime coming up. And so, yeah, I don't know why I thought that I should change things up. I am happy for one change that I did make, and I will be sharing that as well. If you have something to add to this list, please do not hesitate to drop it in the comments. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and that notification bell so you can know when my videos drop. Thank you for all the watch time that you guys have been doing. And if you don't mind taking your time to watch one of my other videos, it will be right there for you. And I will check you out in my next video. Bye.